This is a presentation of the core of the Q project. The previous 7 videos walk through the portal screen by screen. This one is shorter and answers a simpler question. What is this thing actually, and why would an agency run it? The core is memory for teams. Most small and mid-sized agencies don't lose money on hard problems. They lose it on forgotten ones. A decision made in a Slack thread 3 weeks ago, a constraint that lived in one senior developer's head, a client request that was already descoped and then quietly came back. The work itself is fine. The context around the work leaks. People remember the same meeting 3 different ways, and the cost of that shows up as rework, missed scope, and stand-ups that exist only to resync everyone on what already happened. Q is a shared long-term memory layer for the team and the project. Everything the project produces, Slack conversations, Git activity, uploaded documents and chats, flows into one pipeline. We keep the original source untouched, then we break it down, attach vector embeddings so it's searchable by meaning and not just keywords, and extract structured memories from it. Decisions, tasks, blockers, facts, project updates. Every memory keeps its provenance, so we always know who said it, where, and when. On top of that, we build a graph of the entities and relationships found across all of it. The result is that the project's history stops living in people's heads and in scattered tools and starts living in one place you can actually ask questions of. And that's the difference worth paying for. Instead of pinging 3 people to reconstruct why a decision was made, you ask the project. Instead of a new hire burning their first month interrupting senior engineers, you give them read-only access and they ask the project. Instead of conflicting requirements surfacing in production, the system flags them early with the evidence attached. The memory is the product. Everything else is built on top of it. Now, integrations. For the pilot, we ship with 2, Slack and GitHub. We pick these 2 deliberately because for a software agency, this is where almost all of the real context already lives. Slack carries the conversations and decisions, GitHub carries the work itself. Connecting them is a one-click connect once the admin side is set up, and from there the project starts filling its own memory automatically without anyone changing how they work. 2 is the pilot number, not the ceiling. The pipeline is source agnostic by design. Everything that comes in, regardless of where it's from, passes through the exact same ingestion and extraction path. That means adding a new source, Notion, Google Drive, email, a ticketing system is not a re-architecture. It's a new connector feeding an existing pipeline. Adding integrations is trivial, and that matters for the next part. Then tools. There are 2 layers here. The first is the grounding layer, which we expose over MCP. MCP is the open standard that lets AI tools like Cursor or Claude talk to external systems. Because Q speaks MCP, your team's existing AI assistants can pull directly from the project's memory as a source of truth. So instead of an assistant guessing or hallucinating about your project, it answers grounded in what actually happened with provenance. The same set of tools also powers the chat inside the portal, so whether someone asks Q in the portal or through their own AI client, they're hitting the same grounded memory. The second layer is the background processes. These run continuously and turn the raw memory into things a manager actually wants. Insight generation watches the project and surfaces what changed. External news relevant to your stack, security advisories, and competitor moves. The conflict subsystem reads across all the memories and flags contradictions, a reverse decision, work on frozen scope, a request for something already descoped with a confidence score, and only surfaces the high confidence ones. The daily digest rolls up Git and Slack activity into a client-facing summary, which is meant to replace most of your stand-ups. And the specification subsystem can generate or reconcile documentation against the actual code. These aren't separate products. They're all just reading the same memory core from different angles. So that's the whole system in one line, a memory layer for the team, fed by integrations made useful by a grounding layer and a set of background tools. Who this is for? This is built for the person who runs a small to mid-size agency and feels the cost of lost context directly, the CTO, the CEO, the owner. If your margins are getting eaten by rework, by onboarding time, by clients and team remembering scope differently, this is aimed squarely at that. And the offer. We opened 5 pilot spots on our website and 3 of them are still open. Pilot partners get custom integrations and custom tools built for them for free as part of the pilot. So if the 2 integrations we ship with don't cover your stack, or there's a background process specific to how your agency works, that's exactly the kind of thing we want to build with the first 3 teams. Because adding integrations and tools is trivial on our side. This is a real offer, not a token one. If that's you, those 3 spots are the way in.